We do Muay Thai fights out the Scrapyard too.
I saw. Did you see my comment about that? Like there was a guy doing. He had like teal shorts on.
Yeah.
And he caught one of the kicks, and the dude fell down. And they're like, "Oh nope, no catches." And I was like, "Do you guys do?"
That was just straight kickboxing. Yeah, sometimes
Yeah,
they won't
yeah.
agree to Muay Thai.
Well,
So
right.
with our rule set with Muay Thai, it's just kickboxing with clinching.
That makes
Essentially,
sense.
like we don't allow elbows or knees to the head in amateur.
Well, yeah, because that's Washington State.
It's Washington State
Yep.
amateur. Yeah, so we follow Washington State amateur rules
Yep.
on pretty much everything. Things happen though.
Yep.
And we have to make like calls, and people will be critical about it. And they're like, one guy got punched after he went down.
Right.
And we were like, no, we ruled that a disqualification. Like, dude does not get a win on his record for that.
Yeah.
And, but people will see the 2% of what's actually going into what we do online. And they
Yeah.
think like, oh, it's Wild West out there. It's like, no, actually we're pretty set up, full medical staff,
Yeah.
referees, judges, matchmakers. Like we have a whole, you got to come out and check it out.
I will, man. So, Steve Hagara, right? Is
Yep.
that right?
Yep.
All right. The Firechicken. So, Scrapyard.
The Scrapyard.
The Scrapyard. Yep. And that's what we're going by, right?
Yeah,
So,
we're not formerly known as Street Beef Scrapyard. We had our separation from them, let's say last 6 months, but
Yeah. Shit happens.
yeah, shit happens.
Well, I mean, you guys are standing alone on your own just fine. So, at this point,
We've only improved since we've left there. They helped us out a lot, really in the beginning, getting going and everything, and it was all new, but we've done everything since the beginning ourselves. We've done our own fights, we've brought in our own fighters, the referees, everything. So
So it's kind of funny because everyone that knows my podcast was critical at first. The very first time I ever even heard of this stuff was Crazy Legs. I walk into the gym ready to train one or two of our fighters in fight camp. There's somebody hitting pads in a Grinch onesie. I'm like, what the? I don't got time for this, man. So I just do, and he keeps doing it. I'm like, what's going on with this shit, man? He's like, oh, I'm just trying to be me and stuff. I'm like, or are you trying to get attention? Like, what's going on? And he tells me he's affiliated with you guys. I'm like, okay, now I see where he's coming from and stuff like that. And so, he's out at Team Synergy right now and stuff. And I know he's doing his thing. He's still with you guys?
yeah,
you guys
he
still
is.
train? Okay, still come out and fight together?
Yeah, he comes out and fights and is still in our group chat and everything. But
Cool.
we've always made it since the beginning that people can kind of be themselves out the scrapyard. We don't put a lot of restrictions on what they can wear, that kind of thing. Especially if it's like boxing or kickboxing, we really don't care as much. If it's MMA, we might say, hey, no hoodie or whatever. But with the fight game now, it really leans a lot towards building that social footprint.
Oh, I couldn't agree more. Even Dana White came out with that statement saying UFC is not an avenue for fighting necessarily. It's an avenue to be famous, basically.
Yeah,
And you're seeing that more and more too. Like when I was first fighting, man, it's like don't even take pictures of yourself training because you could just use that time for more training and more recovery. And again, I was really critical in the beginning, but I've changed my tune because of how many people have come forward. I never knew it was guns down, gloves up.
Yep.
That's really dope. I never heard that before. So I was like, I can get behind that, and the fact that you guys you do have a full medical staff. You try to, when it comes to the competition side, it looks like you try to referee it properly, judge it properly.
Match make it. It's really important. That's a really important.
Which brings it up. The next thing I wanted to ask, how do you match make for this sort of thing? Or how do you go about that?
So unlike typical, I fought amateur MMA and that kind of stuff back in the day, so I know how that all works. But with how we do it is we do a 10-pound sliding scale. So if you come out there, and we ask that people don't cut weight. We don't want to deal with the whole dehydration, all that, because these are supposed to be amateur exhibition matches.
Smart.
It's not meant to hang with you for your professional record and all that. It's just to get you that experience, to get your name out there.
Yeah.
We match 10-pound sliding scale. If you come out at 170, you'll fight somebody between 160 and 180. If there's more of a weight discrepancy, we might say, hey, this guy's 185, but he's green,
Right.
And it's up to you guys. We don't ever force anybody to take matches. If the guy says, well, he only wants to box and you're signed up for MMA, compromise, and be like, no compromise. We're like, all right, no big
fight.
deal. You guys can watch, and that
Yeah.
kind of thing. Or maybe if somebody shows up later, wants to do a secondary match, we can do that and run it by our nurses, and they're okay with it. So 10-pound sliding scale.
Like it.
Then we have the type of match that you want. Okay, so you put on your sign-up sheet. I'll do boxing, I'll do kickboxing, but I'm not going to do MMA. All right, so we try to put that out there. If somebody says, I got a Muay Thai fight, do you want it? And we don't have to go over the rules really quick. And they say, oh yeah, I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
Compromise. So, okay. Then the third part is the skill level. And this is actually the hardest part, because I'm not going to say that people,
No, I get that.
I'm not going to say that people like all the time intentionally sandbag but sometimes maybe you're in a gym training with other really badass people, and say you're the low man on the totem pole. So you think you're a zero. You're like, man,
Right.
But you're not.
Yep.
Compared to the average person on the street that has
an
never put gloves on,
yeah.
you're a level 2
Yeah.
in our eyes,
Makes perfect sense. Yeah.
So level 0 is like, okay, I've never even put gloves on before. Me and my buddy, like, we've wrestled or whatever. Just nothing, no training, right?
Yeah.
So level 1 is, all right, I trained a little bit in my gym, like my garage. I sparred a little bit with friends. 2 is, okay, I'm part of a legitimate gym with a coach that can correct me on my form, tell me to keep my hands up, all that stuff. Level 3 is you've had actual amateur fights. Level 4, obviously it just goes up from there. Like a 5 is pretty much if somebody was a pro level or maybe a pro in something else and they wanted to take a match out the Scrapyard, we'd say, well, you're a level 5, or a title holder's considered a level 5 out there.
Okay.
And then we just say, okay, that's how we match you guys up. Sometimes we'll go like one level off, but it's generally pretty good. But it is a fight at the end of the day. Like, you get in there with another human being, and
it could be a coin toss.
or one person just ate their Wheaties that day, and they're equal level, and then all of a sudden he just blitzes the other guy, and it's like, whoa, we've never seen that side of this dude before. Like, we don't know what's gotten into him, but they're still the same level. They still have the same training as when they signed up. It's just, dude, want to be more aggressive today. And
I always say that, like, there's that movie, like, Any Given Sunday, and he says, like, on any given Sunday, you're going to win or you're going to lose, blah, blah, blah. But what I take away from that is, like, especially with fighting, is, like you said, whoever ate their Wheaties that day, like, somebody's got the magic, somebody don't, you know what I mean? And, like, training at my gym for so many years, it's like, we go through 10, 15 rounds of sparring every other day, and it's like, it doesn't even boil down to that day sometimes. Sometimes it boils down to the round. And especially when it comes to fighting, you see people that are like tip-top level and they just take the wrong shot or something wrong happens. It's at the end of the day, it's a fight, like you said. So, man, that's actually pretty dope that you run it so as well as you can. Because, like, I know the guys out at West Coast Fight Team, and that's very similar to how they run the smokers out there, and that's done in their big cage. They're done very similar. Like, you show up, you weigh in, you get matched according to skill level. There's a lot of communication with the coaches. Yeah. And so basically, it's you guys being able to do that, your version of that. And
it is like a smoker. It really is.
Yeah.
And I did a number of, well, I wouldn't say a number. I did a few smokers when I was doing amateur MMA. My first one was it was at this place called it was in Tacoma on the hill over by the comedy club. I'm trying to think of what the name of that place was. It was a bar.
Okay.
Dennis Hallman's cage was set up.
Oh, okay. I know exactly what you're talking about. I know a guy that fought in there, short ceiling and all that stuff when the cage was in there. Am I thinking the same place?
Maybe this would have been back in like 2009.
Oh no, okay. So that was like 2 years before I started.
Yeah.
Okay.
This was, and I don't know, I'm drawing a blank
I was thinking
right
like
now,
13.
but,
yeah. No worries. I mean, like, anybody that knows the sport long enough, they'll be like, oh yeah. And I mean, we're out here in Tacoma, so.
Yeah. So we showed up. We stood in a circle, and they're like, okay, what's your weight? What's your weight? What's your experience? What's your experience? I fought some guy from Dennis Hallman's gym. Okay. And it was that's the only fight of mine that I didn't get on video. And it was the most uneventful fight. But I ended up winning. I got like a guillotine in the second round or something. But
nice.
Yeah. The Juno Club.
The Juno Club
in
I
Tacoma.
don't know it. But, you know, I'm sure a bunch of people listening do.
Somebody named, what is it, Crabtree? I remember him, his name on there too. Okay. I remember him fighting. So
Yeah,
this
a
was
couple
like,
years before I started. I started in 2011, so you know how fast people go in and out of the sport too.
yeah, I was only active from like '08 or '09 to like 13, and I didn't do
Same. I was
that many
11
fights.
to 15, so
Yeah.
yeah, I get it. No, but back to what you guys are doing, man. I like it because it's unique. So at first I was thinking like, oh, this is something weird coming into my sport. And I'm sure you've experienced the criticism on that. Like, I'm sure with what you guys do, you have a big target on your back. It's easy to criticize something that's new, perhaps from the outside looking in. Now, like, a lot of people are like, wait till somebody gets hurt. And I know that's a big criticism. So like, but you just had we were talking about there's a 4 or 5 women on the dude. Like, that could have gone really wrong, and it went great. Like,
Yeah.
and like, I don't know the guy's name specifically.
Frankie LaPena, yeah.
But like, those numbers, man, that's life changing for something like that. Or it could be.
Yeah.
Even just recognition, like, can open up other opportunities, or just, you never know when somebody sees you and you get your 15 minutes of fame, what it could lead to.
Yeah, we've had a few different things like that this year, but to backtrack on that Frankie thing, we put that together. We made sure that we tried to make it as fair as possible for the women.
Yeah.
Frankie's okay. He was okay with like getting smacked and all that stuff. He's like, I'm fine. So initially it was gonna be 4 women on one guy, and then one extra showed up, and he's just like, whatever, one more,
Yeah. I'm about to get my ass beat by a bunch of girls.
And if
'cause
he had training, I don't think that I would have let that happen.
Smart, yeah.
Because he says, I have no training. The only person I've ever he fought Krogman, the guy that fights his followers.
Okay,
Number
yes,
22
yeah.
He fought him, so I got a chance to see like what this guy can do, and it's a lot of like flailing punches and stuff. And,
and
I knew, well, he's probably going to
stuff.
catch one of them, but I mean, he would have to like really put some hips behind it, or something like.
Or
he don't know how to do that though. He doesn't know how to do that.
Right, exactly.
But we had our medical staff there that day. That wasn't a one-off event. We only did one thing that day.
Okay.
And so they volunteered to come out. I refereed that one because, I mean, it was so chaotic, like really hard to referee it. But
yeah, or at the same time, like, since it's only one event, you can be like, all right, I'm gonna have to step up and be that guy today, right? Not maybe
kind of just. I wanted to be in the video, to be honest.
Well, yeah, I mean that also helps. But you're in so much of this already. It's not like people don't know you.
I've cut myself back from being in the videos actually because as our subscribers have gone up and our videos and all that stuff, the number of fights we have in one day has gone up. So I wanted to try to cut myself out of my intro to give us more time to be able to like, hey, we could, if I pull 3 minutes of my intro and doing all that out of every single fight, and we do, 10 fights, there's 30 minutes, 30 fights,
you guys do it all day thing.
Yeah. And we've had 50 fights in one day.
Man, that is chaotic. I can't imagine that. Because like we were talking about West Coast, I've been there when they've done 25, and like I was fight 24 or 25, at one point. And you're there till like 11:30, and I get there at like 4. So I'm sure you guys are starting at like 8, 9 a.m. and going till mid to late afternoon, right?
We fighter show up time is 9 a.m.
Okay.
I can take you through the kind of the process.
Please do, yeah.
So fighter show up time 9 a.m. As soon as people get there, they're let in. They go to our sign-in station. At the sign-in station, there's paperwork that they've got to fill out. I have a person that sits there and checks for IDs, goes over their skill level with them to make sure they're not, like, I'm a level 0. No, you're a level 2.
Okay.
Weigh-ins. We have a doctor scale. We make sure everybody gets weighed in. That's mandatory. We measure reach just because we like to include it in the videos. Height, we just go off of what they say.
Yeah.
Some people will be like, yeah, I'm 5'10", and they're like 3 inches shorter than their opponent that's 5'10".
Yeah.
So people, yeah.
That happens still in legitimate fights. Yep.
So anyway, they put all their paperwork in, right? And then they kind of just mingle. They go off and take pictures and do all the stuff that they want to do and meet people. And I got matchmakers on the side, and they've got all the waivers laying around, and it's like their skill levels or weights. And they're like, okay, we got a level 3 MMA, level 3 MMA, 160, 165, boom. And I'll be like, they came together. They're not going to want to fight each other, or maybe they do, but
Yeah.
But so like
Makes sense.
I go over the matches generally. Like I put the
Good.
final yes or no on things. If somebody travels from out of state, which we have happened probably every single event, we have people travel from out of state.
Cool. That's good.
Yeah, I mean, it's nothing to see somebody like at the beginning of the events. I'll say, "All right, who's returning?" You know, you got all the people raise their hand. Who's new? People raise their hands. Who's from out of state? You know, and you look over and you're like, "Where'd you come from? Where'd you come from?" Texas, California, Australia. Like this is happening.
Yeah,
And
that's
it's like-
sick. Yeah.
Yeah, and so those people those are priority matchups.
Yeah, for sure. That makes
You traveled
sense.
to get here like that. You're gonna get matched up. You're gonna get some type of match in.
Yeah. Because you're going out of your way, you're
yeah,
putting your
you're-
hard-earned money on the
Right.
line. Yeah, that's dope, man. Like you're gonna make sure that you take care of the people that are going out of their way to be there.
Yeah. Yep. So we get everybody matched up. We fill up our board, right?
Yep.
And the types of matches that we do are boxing, kickboxing, Muay Thai, MMA, and BJJ. BJJ matches are just kind of dependent on what we have for time. But if somebody, especially like one of our bigger names, comes out and he's like, "Hey, can I do a BJJ match today?" I'm like, "Yeah, we can throw it in there." 1 5-minute round submission wins is the only way to win. If not, it's a draw. Doesn't count on your record. It's just a. I used to do BJJ matches out there like every event.
Okay.
And then I backed off because I'm so involved with like running it now. But it's just something to get a little bit more camera time and exposure. And yeah, so they do their matches. I do have a live stream going, but it's for our members only on our YouTube channel. Every single fight that gets filmed out there does end up getting edited. I do the editing, so it takes me like roughly 2 hours per video to put out. And
I understand because I edit all my own shit.
Yep. It's over the course of like, I just tell them expect it in like a couple months
Yeah.
because I'm still working on 2 months ago.
I know, I get it. Yeah.
And yeah, so I tell everyone like this is a community out here. Get to know some people, meet some people, shake hands, find gyms. And one thing that I need to put out there is one positive thing that we're doing for the Pacific Northwest and the fight community in general is we've got everyone knows who we are and we have a footprint. Everyone knows the popularity, so they want to get on and they get seen by people. Well, some of them are newer, they don't have a lot of experience, and they come to me afterwards and they say, "Hey, I want to know what to do next. Like, I need some training. I got humbled in there." I'll be like, "You know what? I know I know this person. I know JD Burns, or
Yep.
I know some person here, some person there,
Right.
that owns a gym, and go train with them." And I want the best for the fighters. I don't necessarily want to hold on to people. So
it
if
makes
somebody
total
wants
sense.
to come out and they get a few fights in and then they end up going pro, I mean, it's really cool to say like, "Oh, this person is like an undefeated pro fighter now."
Yeah.
And
Batman's move.
he's not. I don't think he's pro yet.
No, he's not, but he's
almost there.
He's gonna get there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
He's-
shout out Batman. He's a good
he
guy.
came on and with his coach Tony. It's actually something that's interesting you just said because I can't remember. I was talking about this on another one of my podcasts, and I was like, I would love to see you guys like get into like a Street Beast Elite or something like that, and be like, all right, Scrapyard Elite. Sorry about that. Scrapyard Elite or something to where you are doing that. So it sounds like you're already there, sending people off to.
Well, I do have plans for other things as well.
I'm
but
sure.
I do want to keep what we're doing like we're doing. I don't want to take away from that. I just want to add some extra stuff in there because really what we do out there, we're feeding the local fighter pool. We're feeding the fight scene.
Yeah.
I want to build these guys up, and I want them to go away from what they had with us with a positive opinion of like, hey, I went out there and they were really cool to me. They worked with me. They got me matches. I mean, I'll name drop a little bit on some of the fighters that have come through and are pro fighters now. Luther,
Feel free, yeah.
Terrifier. He just had his pro debut, 205. And it was, I believe, his first round. Elbow. Like,
Nice.
it was nasty. But he was also a really good amateur fighter. I think he only had one loss, and the guy that he lost to went on to be a pro.
Yeah, so
and
the competition level is very high.
yeah, I saw that guy fight at the Emerald Queen that beat him, And,
Yeah.
so him, Jeremiah Robbins, he's 3-0 pro MMA right now.
Wow,
Maliko Goon, 4-0 pro boxer. Viking Warrior, 1-1 pro boxer. And Hummingbird, Hayden Allen, He is a 6-0 pro boxer.
Jeez.
And there's probably people that have gone pro that I don't even like keep track of.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they came through, they did a match or whatever, and then they moved on. But a lot of the ones that I mentioned have done either the majority of their fighting experience or they started their fight experience with us.
Yeah.
Like at least 2 of those, 3 of those never did a fight in their life, amateur wise or whatever. And then they stayed with us and they started really getting into their gym and training and started hitting the amateur scene. And now they're a product of, you know, of us, I guess.
Yeah.
You know, they came out and took part in it.
Well, and again, I was critical in the beginning because I'm like, oh, that's for people, you know, that just want to get up off the couch. But that's not a bad thing. You know what I mean? Because it doesn't matter where you get the spark sometimes.
Yeah.
You know, you get in there and you're like, ooh, I fucking love this. I want to do this again. You know what I mean? So they do another one with you guys and another one. And then, like you said, you're like, hey, go check out this gym over here.
Yeah.
And then they start getting like all that coaching that's not, you know, hanging out in the garage or however, whatever the progression looks like. And you see people really want to do this more and more. So it is providing an avenue, and being that you have so many views, especially out here in the Pacific Northwest, it's always going to play to that local scene as well as the expansion, you know, national and hopefully global, international. But you guys are doing a lot of big things, and it's important to have the community that you talked about.
Yes.
So, and that's one thing I always talk about. I call it the Sway City Muay Thai podcast. I've had only a handful of Muay Thai specific practitioners on here. It's like Jeff the Ref is on here. That's my boy. And like, you know,
Jeff Hoiby?
Jeff Hoiby. That's my guy. Shout out to Jeff. Thanks for having me help judge last night. I loved it at Redemption. You know, I've had a bunch of coaches, fight promoters and stuff like that. MMA guys, kickboxers. Hopefully you get some boxers on. You're on, you know what I mean? Like,
isn't it cool to like be so, you know, good with everybody and be willing to work with people and you know, I'm big on collaboration. You know, I don't like to like gatekeep and tell people they can't do this or do that. I'm like, no, like we're here for you if you want us. But you know, if not, it's okay.
This is what I've been saying lately is like, me and my buddy Omar over at Koga, he's helping Joe DeRobio run the Koga shows. And he's like, man, we need to do this. We should do that. And then like a bunch of people are like that. So, and you're doing your thing out here. And I've been saying like, I want to make the Pacific Northwest the new mecca of fighting. Yeah. So it'd be like every kind of fighting. It doesn't matter what kind it is. Like you heard of Dagestan, welcome to Washington. You know what I mean? Like some sort of saying like that hits everybody and be like, come out here. You're getting people from all over the place to come out here. More and more pro fights and pro-am fights are getting, and even amateur cards are getting people from out of state more and more. So, and it's an easy way to get yourself out there, especially like where you guys are starting. Like you got the Wing C guy.
Yeah, he came out and fought. He came out the same event as Death Sentence, and the one Mighty Mouse came out too.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and everybody's seen where Mighty Mouse kind of crashes out on, you know, and everything, and that's kind of
that was a pretty crazy. That was the day before we did a training session, and he came out, and I wasn't expecting that. And
that's wild though. But like again, it's adding another layer of legitimacy, even if he's like saying that, because how many people that are part of the Scrapyard are gonna watch that and you know what, he's right. I'm gonna fucking start doing better.
Yeah.
You know, and like I'm sure that created another spark and another wave. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's dope. You guys are doing all kinds of dope shit.
We got a chance to work with, do a collaboration with ISO Speed this year.
Oh yeah? Yeah, I saw that. I did see that.
Yeah, that was a little crazy because like we weren't really expecting to do that, and then it happened. And when it was so surreal, like when it was happening, that it didn't even like really like fully like it didn't really fully get to me till like after. I was like, did we just do that? Like, did that really just happen?
Hit you like a tidal wave, and then the aftermath is like, oh damn, look at this.
We just worked with the biggest streamer in like the world right now, and he just fought.
Right.
On
your
like,
stuff. Against
like
Crazy Legs.
Against Crazy Legs. Like, like he repped my fight against Pappas. Like,
that's dope. Yeah.
That was insane. And we made it happen, you know? Like,
and I think that's a big part of, like you said, being part of the community and being willing and open to make things happen. You know what I mean?
Opportunities.
Opportunities, yeah.
That's one thing that I try to say with like people that come out and are affiliated with the Scrapyard, like opportunities. You know, we're an amateur thing there. We can't pay people, you know, accept money. We can't do nothing like that. So like fighters come out and they're like, because they can't get paid on amateur fights either.
Exactly.
But so with us, like, well, why come fight for you? You get exposure. You get a chance to meet Aisho Spee, Frankie LaPena. Like, there's things I try to do that like hook them up with opportunities that they wouldn't normally get, and they're pretty appreciative of it, you know.
I've seen, so it's kind of funny, and I don't know if, I'm sure there's some level of correlation, but more and more fight shows are looking to do something different, right?
You have to.
And so you have to. And if you have something that over across town, you know, over in Gig Harbor, that's on, you know, like drop that on you. But like, I know you guys are like, you're out in Gig Harbor, and it's like, they're doing something that's very different, you know? And so what am I going to do so that people want to come to my show is perhaps on the same day? Because you guys do a lot of Saturday stuff. Yeah,
it's always a Saturday. It's not the last or the third Saturday of the month. It's always either on the 20th or the Saturday right after the 20th. So it could be the 21st, 25th, 26th, whatever.
Yeah, that makes sense. And so, but it's gonna just up the need for show appeal. You know what I mean? And to have certain people
always been
that have that.
But that's been the way forever, though. I mean, with every promotion out there.
That's a great point.
I mean, if you got promotion A and promotion B, you got the UFC. Maybe they're not the best one to use as an example because they are the monopoly, the mecca. You know, that's how they stand out. But
for sure,
if you've got two brand new professional fight organizations, you know, we'll say like the PFL and
like
you know,
LFA.
Bellator or LFA or something like that. You know, it's like you got to do something that's different to draw people over, to have fighters want to come fight for you. With us, we don't consider ourselves a fight promotion because we're not competing at least in my eyes with amateur fight promotions. Our fighters that are up and coming, they need to fight at those promotions to build up their amateur record.
Correct.
Okay. Yeah. So when they come fight for us, it's like, yeah, I'll get some practice in, I'll get some exposure, but you know, I want to go fight at this casino. I want to go fight at the Emerald Queen. I want to go fight at the Muckleshoot. You know, like that's kind of like the leap before you jump into like the PFL or
the bigger pro
big ones, and then there's the UFC and that kind of stuff. So. Yeah, I mean, you're right. You do have to have something that draws in people, whether it's like the way that you run your shows or whatever. Just with what we're doing, there's just never really been anything like that around here.
Right. No, I mean, and it makes perfect sense because I know, isn't it that you guys operate under, or is this correct, that you operate under the like the mutual rules combat sort of thing in Washington and Texas?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, but I mean, there's a few different layers to it, but essentially that's just another way of like
the legality portion.
Legality of it. Yeah, because I mean, like, we're not technically doing anything illegal.
Right.
So
it's like well,
in every other state though, there's only 2 states that you can really do this, but there's also states where they don't really care. But then there's states like Oregon where like, you're going to go to jail if you do something like this.
Yeah.
Like,
so, and that was kind of the reason I wanted to ask, is because if it kind of gives, I don't want to say it creates that uniqueness, because here in Texas, you know what I mean? And there's not very, I'm sure there's other states that you can get that workaround where they don't really care, but
they just do it until they get busted.
They do care. Yeah. And I know California would be big on that because they eliminated the smoker shows an umpteen amount of years ago.
So there was
or something like that.
I don't want to get too much into like the whole, you know, organization that I used to be part of.
Fair
you know, because
enough.
but they one of their branches had a branch in California.
Okay.
And they didn't research anything before. They were just like, hey, let's throw some fights, and it's like, they got shut down.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
And so, you know, they had to move it. Like they made their whole name based on the coast.
Oh,
and then they moved away from the coast, and they kept the name.
Oh yeah, no rebrand.
I mean, no rebrand, but you know, and I don't even think they're like technically legal doing it where they're at, but it's whatever, you know.
Yeah.
If they can get away with it, I look at it like this: like, if they can get away with it, and it gives people a place to go and the same type of kind of experience that we're getting,
Yeah.
then that's good. You know, I do wish like other states allowed this because it would help people out. It does a lot for mental health and
For
just
sure.
camaraderie and all that stuff and community.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's good that they're able to do that, but we just took it a little bit more diving into details and finding out what was legal and that kind of stuff when we first started it. We actually didn't even intend to like start these fights when we did. They just happened.
Well, I mean, my buddy always says like certain things are serendipitous. So it's like, I don't want to see you have a chokehold on the market, but you definitely have it cornered, you know? And you're doing a great job. There's, like you said, you have a medical tent. You have the best version of a fight promotion that you can find, you know, or that you can put together.
Yeah.
And being that you know the amateur scene, you know enough people in the amateur scene as well that have come out. Like you said, you had Pat Benson.
Yeah.
You know, Pacific
Yeah.
Northwest bad boy Pat Benson
helping
came
out
out
with
and
the
helped.
refereeing.
Yeah, that's dope. Like, and you know, I've known Pat for a while. Pat's a great guy. Plenty of experience to see him. Like, he's a high level pro.
Yeah.
And to see him like, yeah, I'll get involved. Demetrius Johnson, like, it adds so many more layers of that community and of the legitimacy side before you hit, like you said, the amateur sanctioned fights, which you need to go on to have, if you want to go pro and start climbing that mountain, you know?
Well, just like what you said, the legitimacy of it. That's one thing that I try to, if somebody's interested or apprehensive about coming out, I like to say, you know what, if you're especially like a gym owner or something, or I say, come on out, check it out. You know, like Sean Kemp came out, and
Oh, yeah, that's
obviously,
dope.
or Marcus Trufant, you know, he came out, and then I always hear from them like they were a little apprehensive coming down like the road and everything. Like, what am I getting into? But then they're like, yeah, but then I got here and it's great. Like, they see how it's ran, they see how, because when you're watching online, you see a small percentage of what we're actually
For
doing,
sure.
and more so, we have a documentary coming out. It'll get more explained and shown how
There
the
you
whole
go.
process works
Yeah.
behind the scenes and all that. But it always gives people that reassurance. They're like, no, they're actually doing a pretty good job on, you know, because like I said earlier, I did fight amateur and I got a chance to see what at least I needed to do. Like, I
Right.
can do better than that. I can have more than just one person there with you know, checking your heartbeat. Like,
Yeah.
we can do better than that. We can have a full medical tent with medical supplies and all that stuff, and so I knew what the minimum requirements were, and I added to it. And when people do come out and they see what we're doing, they're like, okay, you know, I don't have a problem bringing my fighters out here and letting them do a smoker match or whatever. It gets them some experience, and and it oftentimes leads to us sending people in their direction when they need a place to train.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and that just furthers, like you said, that community. Because, again, I haven't been out there yet, but I've had enough people come on, the guests, and I talk to people in the community all the time. So they're like, you know, it's actually it's not that bad. You know what I mean? Especially when they watch the podcast. I'm like, man, like, I don't get it, blah, blah, blah. And then somebody else comes on, they're like, well, it's actually like this. Like, it was Batman Smooth and Tony Garcia, his coach, when they came on, and they're like, well, it's guns down, glove up. Guns down, glove up. So I thought that was dope. I was like, that's something I can get behind, because
I can't take credit for making that statement. You know, that's always been,
Right.
It's been around since before even like the organization that uses it now. I mean, it's been around for a while, and all it really means is like if you have a dispute, instead of solving it on the street with guns and knives, you solve it in a fist fight.
Yeah.
Right? I mean,
Sure.
myself growing up, you know, I'm 42. I get in fist fights when I was a kid. There wasn't any
Yeah.
guns and knives and stuff where I lived, and that's how you handled it, and that's how people should handle it, not have it escalate.
Yeah.
So yeah, 100% still, you know, behind that statement.
Well, and even if, obviously, like, even if you're not the person that created that statement or even affiliated anymore, it's something for people to get behind.
Yeah.
And
I think that's why like local law enforcement digs what we do. Everyone that I've ever talked to has been like, oh no, I support this. Like, because we're trying to give people an alternative, or we're trying to, hey, come on out and check it out. You might get involved with this. There's been people that come out before that have had problems in their past, and they're looking for a community, they're looking for a place to hang out, they're looking for other people, right? And they change their life around. I've seen that so many times. Like, this changed my life.
Yeah.
And
same at the gym, same at our gym. So like, it doesn't necessarily, like, again, it doesn't matter where you get that spark.
Yeah.
Like, it's the fact that you're providing, especially like, I want to go back for a second, because like I said, I was very critical before I started getting the education behind like what you guys are actually doing. I'm seeing the clips of two people just swinging away, and it's like, oh yeah, and
that's the hook.
That's the hook.
That's what
exactly.
that's what draws people in. And then when they get in, they find out about the community, and right.
We wouldn't be sitting here right now if I hadn't grown like that. You know what I mean? And met you at the fights and stuff like that. You're a cool dude, and I'm like, getting all these messages and having people being willing to step up and step forward and be like, no, that isn't what's going on, and I love that our community's so honest like that, because you're going to get a big target on your back just across the nation for that, and you're going to have to deflect a ton of that kind of stuff, and then you're also inviting people in, like, come check us out.
That's my biggest weapon right there, to deflect and to, show people is like, check it out.
Yeah.
And then they come out and they check it out.
Like,
and they're like,
all right, fuck,
okay,
I was wrong.
Okay, you guys are like doing okay.
So you're very used to the, I was wrong.
Yeah. But you know what? In my opinion, if you always try to do the right thing and you're consistent, people can't really go after you because you're doing the right thing.
Right.
But yeah, that hook often kind of makes people like, oh, I don't know.
But again,
it's fighting though, right?
Yeah, I mean, you're going to watch it.
I mean, when a casino shows their best clips of the fights, they're not showing much of the behind the scenes stuff, and
no,
they're showing the people getting knocked out, the blood, they're showing everything, right?
Yep.
That's because the consumer wants to see that.
Yeah.
And that's going to draw them in, and there's other people that are like wanting to get in that deeper level and watch the podcast and do all that stuff.
Yeah. Well, kind of to your point is, imagine how intimidating that is. You know what I mean? Like, man, like, oh, I know that's not the UFC, but that's still pro fighting at the Emerald Queen or whatever it is. And you got to go see that locally, and you can't get up off the couch and do that. I always make the statement, like, imagine our grandfathers, great-grandfathers are watching Friday night boxing, Saturday night boxing, just sitting there in front of the old black and white TV. They know those guys are dedicated like 8-10 hours in the gym. That's what they do. That's how they earn their money. That's not common. You know what I mean? And so for me to be like, all right, I mean, some people work all day, but if you're a fucking iron worker, you don't have time for that type of shit. You're going to be, so, and then there's other people that are like, I just don't want to go into one of those gyms. Those gyms are scary. You know what I mean? But I'll go do that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then you're like, okay, this isn't as bad as I thought. And then like maybe you're like, hey man, like I know gyms look scary, or
they meet the gym owner at the show.
Yeah, and they're like, oh man, they're like some of the nicest people I've ever met are inside the gyms.
I mean, if I wouldn't have met you at the casino fights, I wouldn't have known really. You might have been like, hey, would you mind coming on the podcast? I would have been like, I might have still done it, but I didn't know you personally.
Right, for sure. And that's a lot of the big thing about the community is like I don't usually cold call or message anybody unless we've had correspondence. You know what I mean? Like even if it was, but I don't know who runs your guys' YouTube, but when I did a Hoiby one, you guys were like, yo, thanks for showing some love, and I was like, oh damn, I didn't know.
I run all of it.
All right, well,
I answer all the messages.
Well, that's dope because a lot of people have handlers.
Yeah, and I'm not saying I wouldn't ever do that, but
at this point you can still handle it.
Sort of. This is my full-time thing, so it's like I do the video editing, I do the organizing. I do have shout out to my team that does like all the help at the events and everything. Yeah. Shout out to my wife, and even my kids and stuff that like help put it out there and do things too.
It takes a village.
Yeah, and I've thought of like, giving some, what do you call that? Delegating to other people to do, but I'm still pretty critical about like the editing and that kind of thing.
Well, it's your product.
It is.
And until you're ready to hand that product off to somebody you trust, it's hard, man, because I'm the same way.
But I actually I had a history in doing that type of work before. Okay. So it's like, I like the video editing process. Everything that you see in my videos, I'm self-taught from YouTube and from trial and error. And it feels good. It feels good to be able to use it, It would be like if you spent your whole life learning Muay Thai and then all of a sudden, then you're coaching, and then you take a step back, and now you're not like doing anything. It's like, oh man, I put all that time into it.
Yeah.
I wanna be part of it, you know?
Yeah, you want to have your hands in the
Yeah,
fucking pot.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm the same way, man. Like, because I'm not good at editing by any means yet, but I'm learning. And like we were
takes
talking,
time.
well, we were talking about some cool stuff off camera and like ways to get around certain things, and definitely going to put that into use. So thank you for some tips, you know. And every time I have a podcast and somebody comes on, especially the people that I don't really know, I always learn. I want to say I learn one or two things, but I learn a lot. But I always like try to focus on one or two things that I can go moving forward, and kind of like put that in my pocket. You know what I mean? I'm like, this is something I have that I can move forward with.
Yeah.
So like that was one of them we were talking about. So
I always felt that way when I was training martial arts, because it's like no matter who I
Constant
train
student.
with, I can learn something, even if the person knows less than me. I can learn something from them, and I'd never like to push anybody's teaching or opinion away. It's like, okay, yeah, you can tell me. You know, I might use it, I might not.
right, like be that
Be
student.
open. Yeah,
Yeah.
open to learning.
Dude, that's so important. And then now that you find yourself in like a leadership role with all this kind of stuff, having a bunch of people that you can learn from, and like when you learn, you can find a leader in every role. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so having so many leaders, it probably had added a bunch of layers to what you do.
Yeah, I mean, I have people that do certain things out there. I've got people that are kind of taking charge and being doing a lot of social media stuff on their own end. You know, building up their own podcast, but they're working with the Scrapyard. So it's like they have exclusively Scrapyard fighters or Pacific Northwest people on there, photographers that come out, and they're all working together. But it brings us up. Remember, I said earlier, collaboration and working together. I would rather uplift rather than suppress.
Right.
And so
Rather than be like, this is mine, nobody can be, yeah.
Right,
That's
yeah.
smart, because at a certain point, people are just going to be like, all right, well, never mind then. You know what I mean? They're only going to watch what they can personally apply to. So that's actually pretty good that you're putting in that level.
Yeah, I've learned that kind of stuff off seeing like even gym owners and stuff that wouldn't like allow their students to cross train and that kind of stuff. It's like,
Yeah, that old
you gotta
school shit.
you gotta be like more open to working, and you know, if you've the freedom to let people go and come and go as they please, you know, it just makes you look like you're more accepting and open and willing to help them out rather than just help yourself out.
Exactly.
Because that gatekeeping stuff and the holding people down thing, it's only because, to me, in my opinion, it's like you're just trying to build yourself up and what you have and not other people.
Yeah, which is definitely the talked about things that are grandfathered in. That's an old school martial arts thing, but there's no secrets in martial arts. There's no like. The only thing now is like people that innovate, like what you're doing. You know what I mean? And I think that's where people may try to hide some stuff, but like once it's out there, it's out there.
But you know what though? Like even with what we do, like I don't have to tell everybody my editing process. I don't have to tell everybody how I do everything.
Right.
You know, but because that's not what we're about. We're about like the community and being open and stuff and that kind of thing. And, you know, we'll talk about that on podcasts. That's fine. But I mean, I've learned tricks and stuff I'm sure if you go to a gym, you know, when you get out there for a way, you'll learn some tricks and that kind of stuff. You know?
Learn how to break the little rules and stuff like that.
Or just techniques that you didn't. You've never seen happen before. You know? It's like, how did you do that to me? Like, okay.
Like, ooh, okay, yeah. And I think that's constantly being a student again.
Yeah.
You know, and once you learn to be a student of martial arts, like you go so in depth of being your own critic and having to learn every little detail. I think that and how it translates into the rest of your life. Because like now you're eating different, you're drinking more water,
lifestyle
stretching,
change,
lifestyle change, and then you become like that student of life. Because everything else is going to trace back to martial arts. So just kind of maintaining that with what you guys have done. And like I've watched a couple of like portions of your podcast, especially like I watched the one with Eddie Blackburn, like because that's my dog, right before his fights. And like you guys are not only like just doing the fights, but you have the other avenues to continue to promote. Like if you're the editor, you know exactly what you want to see, and you understand obviously what your viewers want to see and what's going to get those attention grabs.
Yeah.
So it's not like you're just I'm just going to do this and it's going to work because I say so. It's like you're actually putting in the work on the backside to have a successful version of what you're doing.
Yeah, you've got to listen to what your audience wants. You can't just do what you want, because it's like not everybody's me.
Yeah.
You know, and then back to what you said about like continuously learning and being a student. It's like I've always thought of this as like if your glass is always full of if it's always full, you can't put anything else in it.
Yeah, it's hard to fill a cup that's already full.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I always try to live the philosophy that, you know, it's always not full, and then I can always add to it, and constantly learn.
And to tell yourself that as something's happening, because like a lot of people, they'll have somebody telling them something, and then they'll be like, "Who are you to tell me this?" Like, it's so weird. Like,
right.
And I'm like,
yeah.
no. Flip that. You can train your mind to learn.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah, but so you got this documentary coming out. What do you want to tell me about that?
Okay, yeah. We've been working on the documentary now for about a little over a year, and it's with this company called Generation Iron.
Okay.
So they're a company out in New York. They do documentaries, mainly Mr. Olympia, like bodybuilder kind of stuff.
Okay.
But they've actually done some MMA stuff. They did one called The Hurt Business back in 2016.
I've heard of it, yeah. I don't remember if I've seen it.
It's really good. It's on Prime Video.
Yeah, I'll check it out.
Ronda Rousey, John Jones, Michael Buffer. Like,
I think I did see that one.
Chuck Liddell. Like
2015, 2016 you said? I think I did see that one.
I want to say it's the only like documentary that's had like John Jones as like one of the main people.
Okay, yeah.
But they put that one together, and they've done a ton of other documentaries, basically around the bodybuilding stuff. But yeah, they've come out. They went with us to Virginia. They were out when Mighty Mouse came out. They actually interviewed him. Cool. They try to interview like these celebrities and bigger name people that come out, and it's going to be what happens at the Scrapyard behind the scenes. It's going to showcase 4 of our fighters and give a little bit of their what happens, you know, at home and preparation and that kind of stuff. And I still got to get out. I got to get one more interview in with them. Which I think I'm probably going to be doing that soon. I think I got to fly to New York and do that one, but we'll get that final interview in. And then once it's done, they'll kind of give us like a release date, and then we'll do a premiere out in Gig Harbor at the Galaxy Theater. We're going to do like an IMAX premiere.
Dude, that's fucking dope.
Yeah, so it'll just be like in our Facebook group. That's you know, that's where we do everything. It's where the signups and everything happen.
But that's sick, yeah.
So I'll tell everybody like, hey guys, if you want like one of the tickets, you know, because it's gonna be limited seating
for sure.
And we're just gonna be like first come first serve. If you want to show up and support and watch this documentary live, that's where it's gonna happen, and then it's gonna premiere on Prime Video after that.
No way, that's sick. So big things on the horizon. Yep. Obviously, that's pretty cool. Like, you guys do so much unique stuff. And I didn't want to sit there and get too deep into certain questions because I know like you don't want to reveal too much once for the documentary. Just have people like, oh,
I mean, you can ask whatever.
But I mean, like, I'm excited for it.
Yeah,
like the anticipation is going to be cool, and to have something like that also out there on like Amazon Prime. Like, that's another big thing, you know.
They told me when they started it, it's going to be an evergreen film, which means that from now until the end of time, like, it's going to be relevant. It's like they're not trying to date it too much by like saying, oh, they're going to do this in 2026, or
that's
like
smart,
it's supposed to be just the beginning, the middle, and then where we are now. And hopefully, once this thing happens and comes out, and like maybe we can find another sort of like documentary, maybe docuseries or something to kind of show like a more, you know, time frame thing where we're like, okay, we're going to do this, you know, in a couple months, and they're going to document that. But I don't know. We'll just have to see if something like that comes along. But
yeah. Well, it sounds like you're always like churn and burn, fucking looking
innovation,
for new things. Yeah, man.
That's I mean, like we were talking earlier about, you know, if you're a promotion, you got to do something different. Like that's just kind of what we're doing. We're trying to do something different.
Yeah. Well, honestly, I wouldn't say that you're trying or succeeding at doing something very different. And you know, there's a lot of stuff that can be done. Like there's the Card-Jitsu stuff. You ever seen that?
The which what?
Card-Jitsu.
Yes, I know the guy that does that.
Oh, okay, yeah.
JT Tilley, yeah.
Yeah. See, that's sick.
I talk to him pretty often.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does that, and he does the slap fight.
Okay.
And we've had power slap people out. Actually gone against each other in a BJJ match.
That's
they were
wild,
on like the
okay.
reality show together.
Oh, no shit. Okay.
Yeah.
That's not something I'm very familiar with. I mean, obviously I know about the power slap stuff.
Do you know Jesse Nutting? So he was a pro MMA fighter out here in Washington.
Okay.
And then Amir Nuruddin, he was amateur fighter out here.
Okay.
But they Jesse still comes around. I haven't seen Amir in a while, but they came out. Jesse does kickboxing and boxing out here.
Okay.
He can't do MMA because of the pro thing, but they actually did a grappling match against each other. I think Jesse's a purple belt.
Okay.
But he, yeah. So
Yeah.
anyway, back to what you're saying. Yeah.
No, that's
yeah.
dope, man,
JT
yeah.
card jiu-jitsu. I've seen that stuff.
Yeah.
Russia's got some pretty crazy stuff happening over there.
Yeah, JD Burns was on here. He's doing the bare knuckle stuff and
Bare knuckle MMA.
Bare knuckle, yeah, he did and he's doing the very first bare knuckle kickboxing in Washington, or on the 31st, I think.
Bare knuckle kickboxing.
Bare knuckle kickboxing.
Yeah.
So that'll be wild, because he was telling me about like the intricacies of it, and he's like, oh, you got a 2-inch fucking spot right here. You're just getting cut up, or you're getting clipped.
Yeah.
It's not like this big hard rock of a glove that's casted below it with fucking tape and gauze that you're getting hit hard with, and it's a big surface area. So I was like, that kind of makes sense, but throwing in kickboxing side of it, or being able to, with no shin guards and stuff, it could be pretty damaging.
Yeah, when I fought MMA back in the day, we didn't use shin guards.
Yeah, same.
4-ounce gloves, no
Yep.
shin guards.
Yeah, exactly. So
but-
until the Washington state law came in to where it's like you have to get your blood work done, all that kind of stuff for amateurs, and requiring shin guards for the most part. That's why I never did MMA, but I did plenty of kickboxing, plenty of Muay Thai, and the only time I ever wore shin guards was at West Coast Fight Club for the smokers. So like everything else was just bare shin. And
Yeah,
if
that's
you've ever
how I
done
was
it-
back then too.
But it's like, I love it because it's like, yeah, the shin guards, like they do add something to it, but like I'm gonna fucking blast my kick as hard as I can. But then I'm thinking back and like, I don't think I didn't do that. I was just a little too stubborn to not kick as hard as I fucking could. Because like coming up under this man, Brian Jones Jr., he's a fucking power kicker until he blew out his knee. So, yeah, man, just depends on your training sometimes. But
Yeah.
we were definitely, Muay Thai school. We're fucking kicking and kicking and kicking. So that.
I did my first kickboxing match about a year ago.
Oh, really? Against who?
2 people. So
Oh, shit.
we did a tag team kickboxing match.
No
And
shit. That sounds wild.
Yeah, and I'm not a kickboxer. So like,
Okay.
I'm a boxer and I'm jiu-jitsu with some wrestling. Those are my
Okay.
moves.
Well, I mean, perfect for MMA.
Some kickboxing, but not like, definitely not Muay Thai.
Right.
So we have these 2 fighters that are big names out at the Scrapyard, Solo and Pappas. So
Okay.
Pappas wears the button-up red shirt. We call him the Applebee's manager.
Yeah, okay.
And Solo's
Yep.
the big dude that can head kick people.
Okay.
He's always like, yeah.
Okay.
They tag teamed against me.
Did he fight at Joey Gale's thing, the Hammerhead MMA at one point? Yeah, that guy?
No, he didn't.
Okay. One of the guys from your organization fought at his against one of our guys, and he beat our guy pretty well. So I was like, damn.
Oh, Ginger Ninja. Oh, no, wait.
He's a big dude, and he was like, and stuff, and yeah.
I wonder who it was. It might have been Ginger Ninja.
I would have to look. I can get back to you about that, but this is just random. Yeah, it's like, oh, okay. So jogging my memory now. Go ahead.
I teamed up with the comedian he's done some boxing and stuff. Yeah, he was my tag partner. And we just full on. We talked ahead of time. Soul and Pappas like, so are we going 100%? I'm like, yeah. And they're like, they look at each other and they're like all excited and everything.
I love that, yeah.
I just didn't want to get kicked in the head by Solo. Dude's 290 pounds. And,
Yeah.
and, he's my height, but he can get his leg like over my head. And I've seen him kick everybody in the head. I've seen him kick somebody who's like 6'4" in the head.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Doesn't surprise me.
I think he tried, but he missed. But it was fun. But the thing I hate about kickboxing is just you almost always get kicked in the nuts, and your shins you just feel like trash the next day.
That's when Jeff Hoiby was on here, and he was just like, dude, he's like, I've done a ton of MMA, a ton of kickboxing. I'm always more fucked up from kickboxing. He's like, yep. Like I remember not being able to walk out of if it was a ring, it would suck because I would have to go over the ropes to get out from Muay Thai, and it's like, tip and toe. And like as soon as the bell rang for the last fucking round, adrenaline
just
dumps. And I can barely walk after that.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's like, yeah, checking kicks, fucking throwing heavy kicks, getting them checked. Yeah, I got a big, nice bruise right here, my Chucky Finster socks. But I had, like, it's on Instagram, a big fat hematoma one day just a few months ago. And I was like, oh, damn, didn't notice that. But, yeah, I was called the dead spot, like the Adam Sandler Blackfoot from that one movie. But, yeah, man, yeah, that's dope. So how long ago did you say it was? Last year?
It was like last year. It was a tag team kickboxing, and then the referee, like in the last 30 seconds, he just let us all go. Like, yeah, because it was 2-on-2. So I'm standing there, and I got Solo and Pappas coming towards me, and I'm like, oh, like, well, I don't know what to do. And then, of course, you know, everyone's pretty gassed by the third round.
For sure, yeah.
So I think what we were doing is normally at the Scrapyard we do 3 2-minute rounds, but I think we were doing like 3 4-minute rounds because it's tag team, and so you tag out. So you're in there for 2, maybe a little bit more. But yeah, we were all just like pretty toast at the end of it. And I was like, oh man, got these 2 guys coming at me and like, where's my partner?
That's hilarious. So they're both in there coming at you. That's awesome. So as much, we all know like WE and all these fucking the pro wrestling, like, have you been approached by anybody that wants to do some sort of style like that or anything?
I know a pro wrestling promotion out in my area. I mentioned to him in the past, like, maybe we could do something. He actually wanted to fight out at our place one time.
Okay.
But it never happened. I'm okay with maybe. One thing I'll say about us is we don't script any fights or anything like that. They're always like legit fights.
Yeah.
Some people come in and they don't like. I know that there's probably been instances where people are like more of a spar, and I tell them like, hey guys, this isn't a sparring session out here. It's
That's
a
what
fight.
keeps you guys legit is
Right.
having legitimate fights, even if it's a different environment. Yeah.
But I wouldn't be afraid of doing something different. I just want to make sure people realize that like we're not trying to like script any fights or do anything like, you know, choreography or anything like that.
So it have, but
we could.
I just mean like somebody, as long as they're actually going at it, like kind of thing. Like I don't know how that exactly works, pro wrestler style. I know my cousin is real big into that, and I know that you.
Well, we could. I mean, if it's something that we could figure out and negotiate, we just let people know in the video or ahead of time, like, hey guys, this is what the rules are to this special matchup.
Yeah, for sure. That's smart. Okay. And is there a lot of that you guys do, or is this pretty much just like your pretty standard stuff?
Sometimes. I mean, if somebody's like, can we do... I just had somebody message me and say they want to do kicking only.
Yeah.
Which I'm just like,
it kind of dulls it down, because people like to see those knockouts. Like even when I do kick play rounds like at the gym or something like that, it's still not as legit as it could be. People have their hands down. But it doesn't mean there's not something there.
Right, yeah. I mean, if they're kicking each other as hard as they can, then it's like, well...
You get like me versus another like Muay Thai guy, and it's like, yo, back and forth leg kicks only, bro.
Yeah.
And fucking, then you're like, yo, these guys are going to go...
And that's why
like
staying
power
open
slap
about
power
things.
Kick. Yeah.
That's why staying open about... You just gave me a good idea. What if they slapped each other? That's the only...
I would do the kick.
the only strike that you can do with your hands is slap. I mean, that would be like...
Yeah.
You're not going to knock each other out. You're probably not going to knock each other out with a slap, but
it's going to fuck people up, and your hands are going to hurt for sure.
Yeah, I mean, you keep your hands up and you just...
No, but I mean, like, if I crack something, I've slapped people and then, like...
I might bring that up to him, actually. But yeah, there's people that bring up things, chest boxing, that sort of stuff, things we haven't tried out. And you just don't ever know until you actually do it and see how it works out. But
it's good that you record and document everything, and like you can edit it. And so you kind of have that full control. It's not like you're battling with somebody over what can I do here, what can I do there, looking for permissions, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that can really take away from a product.
And we tell people that come out, and I some people are like, how could you allow somebody to say that in their video? Like they shouted that out or whatever, like things that are kind of political. I say this, if you come out and fight for us, you get in that ring, you can pretty much say whatever you want. And to an extent. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I do have to edit some stuff if it's like profanity or whatever. But
Right.
like,
Only
you know,
if it
you
has
earn that.
restrictions on
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
Yeah.
You earn your spot to say what you want to say. That doesn't mean that that's how we feel or
Right. It's
or
still that
anything
freedom
like
of
that.
speech kind of portion, right?
Right. That's
Like, and you've earned your spot.
That's
like you
kind of
said.
why we ended up parting ways with that other organization, because they were starting to be very like political on their opinions on things, and I don't want to do anything like that because I don't want to push people away. I
Right.
want to bring people in. I want them to know this is a fight community, and that's what it's about. It's not about any of that other stuff. You
Yeah.
know, we can all get along and punch each other in the face, and none of
Yeah.
that other stuff matters.
Yeah. Actually, it's to your point. Anybody that's critical of you coming on the podcast, like it's about community, man. Like trying to put it together. And again, me shifting away from like, not necessarily shifting away, but like the very first thing was like very apparent for me. Fucking crazy. Like sitting there, I'm like, what the? Because I had a bunch of students coming up to me, like, and then Master Sauhin, you know, he's a little Thai guy, so he records everything and puts everything up, and all of it has like a Thai song in the background. You're like,
Yeah.
I don't get it. But then he's in like almost every one of these. I'm like, and then I get a message from like all, you know, the whole community, like, what is going on in your gym? Like, I don't have the autonomy that I need at this point but I, you know, he's a good dude. Like he was just trying to do him. As long as he didn't show up in the maid outfit in the gym, we're good.
That's the thing though. Like we didn't
At our
we
gym
don't-
though,
right,
like,
yeah,
like don't
yeah,
show
I
up at the
know.
gym where there's little kids and some shit
Right.
like that.
We let people be themselves, and
Yeah.
we've never told them like, oh, you know, you can't wear that or whatever.
I actually kind of like that you guys do that because it's an avenue to be a character, to be out there and be like, if you want to be that guy, like you said
Wing
that,
C.
yeah,
Look
Wing
at him.
C, or
So
yeah. Mm-hmm.
he's even on the amateur scene. And most amateur promotions, they say the fighter's name. No, that's Wing C.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
They're
yeah.
using his fight name. They're letting him do the stuff with the wings.
Yep. I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, no, some people are, you know, promotions are coming around and stuff to that, but
Yeah. I mean, I don't think they're going to have much choice, again, if they want to be seen on another level. You know, like you can't, like, there's always the one thing, like you have to have legitimate fights.
Yeah.
You have to, just like what you guys are doing, like you can't stage things. You can't get like somebody that's 15-0 versus an 0-1 guy.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I've seen that. Man. That's one thing that like, and I tell people, we do our matchmaking this way so that people have a positive experience so they can come back. If I put somebody in there
Right.
and I'm like, no, we're going to do this so they get knocked out. Like, but then what happens to that person?
Exactly.
They never want to come back.
Mm-hmm.
Now, granted, that stuff happens, but not intentionally.
Yeah.
Because the fight's a fight.
And that's why, like, dude, see, people in the entire sport, from what you guys do to like the highest fucking level to peak UFC, one championship, all that stuff, legitimate matchmaking is what brings that to the table. And again, like in the very beginning, it's hard to do, right? Like when you get somebody that's never done anything before and another guy that's never done anything before, it's still a flip of the coin, right?
It is.
And that's what I deal with helping matchmake at our gym is like, this guy's 0-0 amateur against another 0-0 amateur. You never really know. There's no footage on either of them. And it's not like we're going to just give each other a ton of training footage necessarily. If it's out there, it's out there. But that's where like doing on our end, we have to, you know, we sit there and we dig everybody up on Facebook, on YouTube, on IG, Google. I'll even run like a ChatGPT profile and like bring up any fighters in this name that's done up, you know, blah, blah, blah. And I'll do what I can. If we can't come up with anything within like a 30-minute search, like I'm moving on. Now it's different if I see somebody like, you know, they're 5-0 as an amateur or whatever their record may be. They have plenty of footage. They have plenty of stuff out there. I can see if they're orthodox versus southpaw. You don't even get to know that at some points of amateur careers.
We actually run into like, we're getting a lot of people from like Russia and Ukraine that are coming over, and
That's cool.
they're signing up to fight, and you don't know what they did over there. Yeah, never had any amateur fights. Okay. And I don't know if they're just all badasses over there or what, but I mean, like pretty much every single person that comes from over there can fight. We have this fighter named Old School.
Yeah, I've heard of him.
Old School is Russian dude, comes out. He doesn't speak a lot of English. He says, I love the Scrapyard. I love boxing. I love America. That's like his three things that he says.
I love it. Yeah, that's awesome.
And I mean, dude is a savage. He's like in his 50s, and he just knocks people out. And like,
It's that old world type shit or
I don't
something.
know. He knows how to box though too. Like he's not just tough and not just like he can box, and he's even helping coach down at Columbia River Jiu Jitsu now in their boxing to help the fighters down there. You know.
And is that so Nate Smith?
Nate, yep.
Yeah. So
Naughty Nate.
is that your Naughty Nate? And he's he's your partner in some fashion?
Well,
or
so
what do you guys do together?
I wouldn't say partner, but in my podcasting, I'm having him be a co-host.
Yeah. Okay, that's a better way to. So I wasn't quite sure how to ask the question, but yeah, I definitely
co-host
see the
on
co-host.
the podcast. Helps out a lot at the fights. Him and Justine, she comes out. She helps out with a lot of the glove stuff and whatever needs to be done. You know, people have their kind of their sort of roles out there
For sure.
And
so standard fight promotion type stuff, just different environment.
But it's just community, and they come out and they have a great time. They bring fighters out, and it's a great way to get that stress release too. Is just come out to the Scrapyard and be like, all right, that feeling you get when you go to your own gym, and it's people and it's like,
it's comfortable.
It's that's different than when you go to a promotion, right? Because everyone there is like, oh, I'm against all these people.
Yeah, the heavy competition
Scrapyard
side.
feels like your gym.
Yeah, just kind of chill.
That's what it's like when you go out there.
Yeah.
And at first you might go out there, but then I'm like, guys meet each other. Like, and I'll walk up to be like, you guys know you're fighting each other. Get away. Like, they're like, oh, no, that's fine. And we agreed we're going to knock each other out and stuff. It's like, geez, okay.
I mean, at least they get to chat it up and figure that part out sometimes, but... Yeah, but the fact that they're coming up from Columbia River Jiu Jitsu adds another layer of legitimacy. It's like, again, guys are coming up from gyms. There's a lot of recognition that comes up, and from a lot of like higher level gyms. And there's plenty of people that don't want anything to do with it, but I'm sure some of them will come around. I got a cough. But yeah, you guys are doing dope shit, man. And I know it's hard to do anything without your supporting crew, supporting cast, and so it's important that you have those people. So even if Nate's doing co-hosting, and like there's gonna be more and more avenues as you guys grow for that kind of stuff. Yep. So
it's given him an opportunity to branch out, do his own podcast, Forever White Belt.
Oh, I know.
So he does those podcasts.
He shared my thing with JD Burns the other day. Thank you, Nate.
So he's gotten a chance to kind of take control and do that and sort of, use the Scrapyard. I tell everyone just like, give more than you take. Come out here and put time in, help out. And we have no problem like supporting you and helping you out.
For sure.
It's community, right? So
it's huge, man. Yeah. Well, I think you're doing great stuff. Anything else you want to cover? I know we're running a little bit long, but what else you want to talk about, man?
I don't know,
We're jumping around a whole bunch.
No, that's how my mind works, man. Like,
mine too. This is how conversations always go, man.
Yeah. There's something sparks a thought, and then I just got on this tangent. And
when's your next fight date then?
December 20th.
December 20th. Oh yeah. Okay.
And usually, so historically, December's always been like the lowest point for attendance, but signups seem to look pretty decent for this event.
With your level of growth, I wouldn't be surprised if it's like one of your bigger ones, because like more and more people are gonna. But again, it's the holidays, 5
days before Christmas. But which is crazy to me that so many people want to come out, fight in the rain, be in the cold, and that. We try to help everybody out by putting up heaters and doing like propane.
Well, I like
stuff
that you don't get like the giant tents to cover it, because you're like, no, we're gonna do this outside.
It's outside. It's outside.
Yeah. And because you could be like, oh no, we're gonna try to make it more comfortable, and you're like, nah. Like I like that, because I was watching the Seahawks game earlier against the Falcons, and I'm like, I love outdoor stadiums. Like I'm not a big fan of indoor stadiums. Like it's a little too controlled. You like to
see the snow on the ground when they're out there. That's something that you wouldn't normally see.
Exactly. And that's another layer to that. It's like, okay, like how come you like the guys fighting in the fucking car, but you can't like this? You know what I mean? Like I forget what it was, like, the Training Day movie. And Snoop Dogg's like, put me in the front seat with him, I'll fucking whoop his ass. It's always fun, and there's always going to be that appeal to the real life scenarios and stuff like that, because we walk through real life scenarios way more than we train or fight. You know what I mean? There's life outside of fighting and stuff like that. So for anybody, any up and comers, don't think that your life has to be fighting, because as soon as you stop fighting, you stop identifying with it, you can get the Ronda Rousey syndrome, you know?
Yeah, no, I know what happens when you take time off of training specific parts of your martial arts and that kind of thing. You're like, man, I haven't grappled in a while, or man, I haven't boxed in a while. And
rusty.
Yeah, and it's
To
like
say
I
the
was hanging
least.
with these guys before, and now they're piecing me up. Like, this ain't fun.
Fucking hate that. As a coach, I have to teach the whole time, and I'm like,
You have to
all right.
stay in at least
And then
good
I
enough
spar.
shape to like spar with them and
Yes,
stuff.
yeah.
And I have to do that too out there, because like after the fights, I go and grab my gloves because dude traveled from, New York. I want to
Yeah.
get around and with him.
There you go. Yeah. See, there you
And
go.
I don't want to look like an idiot. I don't want to be look like a.
That's the worst case scenario, is you'd be like the higher level and then go get clipped on your own shit by somebody that you're like, oh, I mean, it couldn't be, it's not a bad thing. It is a risk.
It wouldn't hurt my feelings.
Right.
Like, 'cause-
no, but like you can see where like, that's where people always say like, oh, like that ego, like watch out for doing this. And some people don't give a fuck. And that's why like actually J.D. Burns, when he had made a clip when he was like, amateurs, or secret weapon is letting go of the fact that you're going to get fucked up or you're going to get knocked out. If you can let that go, it's like you're going to be way more willing to do what needs to be done.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you guys are doing it up though, man. Like there are people, obviously I'm active in like the pro-am scene and stuff a lot out here. People that have been very critical and people that have been coming forward.
Well, I want to say something to them though.
Yeah, please do.
If you haven't experienced it and you haven't gotten a chance to really come out and see it in person, and you don't really know, it's hard to like have that opinion without any personal interaction. I'm just saying the people that have come out have had generally good interactions and positive things to say about us, and it is trying to build people up. It is entertainment too, and that's another thing, is it is entertainment.
Yeah.
But it's a legitimate place where you can get some training, some rounds in, some experience, and get your name out there a little bit.
Yeah.
And I love the fight scene out here, and I understand some of these bigger name gyms and people that haven't been around yet might have some critical things to say, but I mean, I don't got nothing against them, and we're not trying to be negligent or do anything bad out here. So
Yeah.
should just look at it like, hey, he's actually could potentially send a fighter out to us. He might, one of his guys that started out might start getting some amateurs in. And again, I'm not trying to hold people back. So if they go to their gym and they're like, well, I'm going to exclusively fight amateur now. I'm like, okay, you're still welcome to come out and help out and maybe spar after, whatever your coach will let you do. Like, I want you to succeed.
Right.
We got plenty of people signing up to fight. I'm not trying to hold you back. I mean, Malik Ogun, one of the biggest names at the Scrapyard, I think 3-time champion at the Scrapyard. When he said he was going pro, it was like, man, I'm proud of you, man.
Yeah. Sorry to lose you, but like I'm so happy for you. 10x happy than sorry to lose. And actually, like when you do pass on a fighter like that, and they choose, that's gonna change the gym owner or like that gym's perspective on it, because it's like, yo, this guy wants to do better. First of all, and shame on you if you want to turn somebody away that shows up that wants to do better. Most gym owners and gym coaches will never do that. You know what I mean?
Oh, that'd be weird if they turned him away for like fighting for us.
I don't think they ever would. That's what I'm saying. Shame on you if you did, but that's not the martial arts way. That's not the fighting way. You know what I mean? And for anyone to deter growth on any level is, like that's going to hinder growth. And so like you guys, and again, once I reframed it in my head that you guys are not trying to compete with a pro-am show or this show over here or that show over there. And it's actually going to help the scene out here. You know what I mean? Specifically the Pacific Northwest, even though you're getting global views and stuff. But the Pacific Northwest has nothing but to go up. You know what I mean? Like I was saying, like, you heard of Dagestan, welcome to Washington. I want to, like, I'm getting a lot of people chuckle at that one, so I'm going to start saying that a little more. But you never know, because, like,
there's fight promoters that are looking for, fighters for their cards and stuff. And I'll say Austin Springer down in, I mean, routinely since Columbia River Jiu-Jitsu's down there, my guys will go out and fight on his card. And it's, you know what, it's so great to be able to see somebody that had just competed at the Scrapyard go to an amateur event and represent us.
Yeah.
It's like that builds that legitimacy. And the gym owner, you know, they got another fighter on their card. You know, they're filling in these spots for their fights.
Yeah, it's co-promotion, like you said, collaboration, co-promotion. Everything is just, we're just climbing a ladder, and if somebody is like able to help you climb your ladder, or like, everything's mutually beneficial. You know what I mean? Like even if just somebody that's never done anything and watches your guys' stuff, but they want to join a regular gym, they're out there, and there's not going to be a gym that turns you away. They're all going to be like, yeah, come on in, and just getting a new student helps.
I know of at least one or two that have said, you can't train here if you fight there.
Yeah, that would be a little hard. I mean, like, when
I've
Crazy
been
Legs was
there.
there, I was kind of that way.
Yeah.
But it's because I don't run the matchmaking there.
Yeah.
So now I co-run it with Crew Brian Jones Jr. And it would be different if we had somebody that was coming in and specifically was like, this is what I want to do.
Yeah.
Like we've had people I've had people all the time. We'll be lining up to bow out joking, and they're like, I love that show and stuff like that. So I was thinking of one of the little girl kids that she's like, I love watching that shit. So it's you know, when they'll have somebody like 4 spots down from the lineup that's like, nope, I don't do that, you know, blah, blah, blah. So I was making jokes because Eddie was like, I'm going to have you come out with me. And I was just like, they're not going to like call me out as soon as I get out the car, right? Just because like I was talking some shit. And they're like, no. And so one of the other guys that joins our gym once in a while, he's like, don't do it, man.
Oh, dude,
you know, it would be so fun. Like, that shit's fun.
See, man,
who cares?
like, you know, I know that Eddie was supposed to come out that day, but he was super swamped.
Super swamped, yeah.
It totally welcome out. We've had other people that run other casino shows out there, like watching firsthand. And the fact that they come out and then they still support us after, and they're still like, oh no, that was great, you know, or gym owners and that kind of stuff.
Well,
that
the word's out that you guys are doing good things, not like just slapping out this product on TV. Because like, it was like, from the outside looking in, it's like a step away from World Star, which I know you guys got on.
We were on World Star.
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy.
Yeah, that is. Well, and congratulations on all the subscribers and all the views and stuff, man. I know you just got the big gold fucking YouTube button, so that's sick as fuck. Yep. Man, that's got to be like both exciting and humbling, right?
It is, because when I started this whole thing, initially, like I wrote down all my goals, and that was the number one top goal, meaning that that was the end all be all.
Fuck yeah.
And 5 years later we hit that, and it's like, well, now what? Now I got to like redo my goals, because I don't you know, as far as subscribers
now
go.
I need to fucking up it.
But it's crazy because like you hit a goal like that and you look at the button and you're like, it's just a thing.
It's just
it
a
doesn't
thing.
mean it like it's a milestone, but like
it's more about the support. Like I would say like because what I'm experiencing is not even close to your, but it is growing. And just to have the community show that level of appreciation, it just like, I hate to get corny, but like it warms the heart, you know what I mean? It shows that you're doing something that is supported by the people that could easily not support you. Yeah. You know?
I think you're doing I think you're doing great. You got
Thank you, man.
all these local Pacific Northwest people coming on that we all know, and you get to interview them. And I mean, the one that caught my was Ken. He came on.
Yeah, I love Ken.
Yeah, great. Ken's been awesome. Known him for years. I think I trained with him out at Brian Johnson's back in like it must have been like 2010 or
hell yeah.
Or something like that, you know?
He was telling me when he was there,
but yeah, seeing him on there, and just catching other people. You said JD. I haven't seen that one yet, but
that one came out like a couple days ago.
Oh, I gotta check that one out.
Yeah. Speaking of which, like today's Sunday, I'll chop this one up and I'll have it out probably Monday morning. So,
oh wow.
You know, yeah. I mean, it doesn't take much for this. We don't need to edit really anything.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm like, yeah. And that's my favorite thing is not having to edit this much. Like the shitty part is like when I try to do my intro, I've been testing out a couple of different softwares and stuff like that, but I'm revamping everything. So like just got a new laptop, got a bunch of we're gonna be using DaVinci Resolve and like Opus AI and a few other things to try to polish this up a little bit. And my buddy Chris, who's doing, big shout out to Chris Pillar, always do this. He's becoming kind of like my, don't know if you call him my media manager or something like that, but giving me a lot of good insight. Like, all right, you need to do this. You need to, because he wants me to do the 3-camera setup, you know, for the guests and stuff. And I'm like, all right, I don't want to overly produce it, but he's like,
no, I don't think that would be. I think that would be pretty.
He thinks it's a good polishing.
It is.
Thing. Yeah, and so that's again. Like, I don't even have like paying sponsors, but we're working towards that. I got another thing I'll tell you about off camera because it's not happening yet, but at the first of the year, I hope to announce it, something real big. So it's really gonna hopefully add another layer to the Pacific Northwest community, as well as provide.
I got something
service.
that I'll let you know after. That's a plan too.
Yeah,
That's,
I love this. See, there's always something that should be going on in the back. So, but yeah, man. Anything else you want to cover before we shut down?
Oh man, I think we covered a lot. You know,
You covered a lot, and it helped kind of clear the air for any of like my guests, you know, or like any of my like consistent subscribers, or maybe that's like on the fence about where you guys are. If anybody can look at that objectively and be like, you know, just
give us
because
a chance.
Yeah, give you a chance.
Give us a chance.
Just because it's not happening inside of a casino or inside of a gym or something like that doesn't mean it's not your own legitimate thing. You know what I mean? And
I mean, really, what's the difference between us and a smoker show?
not much. Just the fact that it's happening outside.
It's happening outside. I've even seen events happen outside though. So
Yeah,
right?
we did a smoker show at Absolute Chaos, the Crew Jones is like Schaefer's Bar and Grill, and there was like a big mat laid down in this fucking lumpy field, like you roll an ankle, you're walking out with your shoes on and shit.
Yeah.
But it was, you know, it's trying to be akin to those old school East Coast smoker shows that are done in like parking lots of strip clubs and shit. And again, like a lot of things have grown away from there, but like what you guys do, it kind of adds that, like, it goes back to the gritty shit. You know, like you can, and Tacoma's fucking grit city.
Grit city.
Yeah. So, man, a lot of people are gonna be shocked to hear me say, I love it. I'm loving this shit. So I've turned a leaf, man. I'm glad you're able to come on. It's been a lot of fun. Covered a lot of ground. So thank you very much. Shout outs or anything?
Yeah, for sure. Shout out my team, so everybody that's helping out with everything at the Scrapyard, whether you're, you know, checking weights of people, handling like, you know, judging, refereeing, everybody that comes out, medical staff. Shout out my wife, Mandy. Shout out to my family. Shout out to the fighters that come out and give us a chance. Shout out to all our supporters out there that watch us on YouTube and Instagram. And by the way, you can follow us on all those.
You should.
Shameless plug there.
Yeah. No, if you don't already, make sure you're following.
TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, all that stuff. And then even shout out to the haters because like they're still watching our stuff too. I feel like they just haven't gotten a chance to really get to know us yet. So yeah. And shout out to you guys for having us on.
Well, thank you, man. I appreciate that. Big shout out for you guys for doing what you're doing, and for you for coming on. I really appreciate it. And it takes a lot of support to build something like this. So, and the fact that you had to stick with it through, you know, all the people talking shit already, you know, that takes a lot of grit, man. So, big shout out to anybody that watches the podcast. Thank you very much. Like, subscribe, share, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, just like you. I'm out there. Thank you to Uwe. They kind of like help sponsor. We're looking to further that sponsorship here very soon. And shout out to my team, all three of them right there. So cool. Thanks a lot, man.
Thank you.
Really appreciate you.